everyone, Tina here. I hope your day's going wonderful and I hope your weekend is off to a great start. We're keeping it crafty and we're going to create a just because card today. For my greeting, I'm going to use one that says handmade with love, so it can be used for just about anything. I'm using the Spellbinders Build-A-Wreath die set along with the Garden Wreath add-on set. These are both designed by Suzanne. She designed the entire collection, and I'll link it down below because it's pretty fabulous if you want to head on over and check it out. But the Build-A-Wreath is super neat because you have all of these elements that have a slight curve to it that make creating wreaths super easy, and all different shapes and sizes also. And there's also holiday theme too. But I wanted to make it just because, so we're going to be using these on our card project today. Now I picked out some colors of cardstock. I'm using Spellbinders Color Essential cardstocks for my projects today. I have Alabaster, which is a vanilla color, soft off-white. And then we have, this one is Barely Peach. And it is, the sun's going in and out, so it's probably hard to tell the color difference, but we're going to fix that with a Copic marker. I also have Sage. We have Silver Fox, which is a warm gray, and then I have Dune, which is a sandy brown color. I thought we'd create a real soft, organic looking wreath with these colors. So using the base die set, which is the Build-A-Wreath, we are going to die cut out lots of these branches here with the Alabaster. There's several different styles. And then and for the most part, that's what we're going to use from our base die set. Now with the Garden Wreath add-on, we're going to use some florals and some blooms or some buds, and I'm going to use Sage for those. There's these two pieces here. This one has more greenery on it, and then there is one bud that looks like this, and I'm going to take this one too, and we'll cut these out. You can replace the buds on these pieces with this die, and that's where my Barely Peach comes in. I'm also going to take my Dune and cut out some leaves with that, and we're going to create some flowers. Bring in some white cardstock for that. Okay, so I have, and while we're die cutting, you know what? I'm going to die cut out a tag for my greeting, and that's where this comes in. I'm using the tag, the round tag here, and this one is from the Spellbinders Assorted tags. So I will stamp a greeting inside that, and I have a bit of die cutting to do. I will be right back. I have everything die cut. Basically, I did sets of 4, with the exception of the flowers. I did 7 flowers. But what I did with the twigs is using my sponge sugar. I'm going to ink blend just a little bit of this light pink on the edges. Just a little bit here. I have that peachy color, and I wanted to bring in some pink. Let me zoom in and show you. So you can see I have a little bit of pink here. So our branches are done, and you can see how they all have that little curve to them. And I'll put these off to the side. And then for the flower buds, we're going to go ahead and add the color portion to our flower buds, which I did here. But before we do that, I used my Copic markers. And this is E95. And I just added a little bit of color at the very bottom of each one of these buds. Okay, and then using my blender marker, which is a colorless marker, I'm going to fade them both together. Just because since I'm using one color, the transition's a little bit better. And that's what I did to those over there, okay? We're going to bring in our glue. And then all you do is add a little dot of glue on the bud portion. I'm going to do this one over here too, has one bud here. Okay, and then I'm going to add the color portion to each one. They're very easy to layer, and I love the outcome. So we have our flower buds done. We put these off to the side. And then on these right here, I brought in another Copic marker. This is BG72. And what I did is I just, where the cut lines are on the leaves, I just added a little bit of darker lines. So I just added a little bit of color to those. And if you wanted to use your colorless blender to blend those, you could. So I see the sun going in and out. This weekend we're actually expecting a cold front. This week we had 80-degree weather, and then the leaves are falling. It's actually really beautiful. That's kind of what inspired me to do this card. But expecting a cold front, which I don't mind. Okay, we are going to take these. This is made with the Dune, and I'm going to use my E13 marker, which is drying out. I need to refill it, but I'm just going to add a little bit of color to the edge of these leaves. I think when you just add a little extra to your die cuts, especially since you have so many, it just makes it look really, I want to say organic. But that's all I'm going to do to everything. Now we're going to zoom back out, and then we are going to go ahead and create a wreath. I went ahead and used one of my stitched rounded corner rectangles that was a little bit smaller than my card base. For my card today, we are going to add our wreath pieces to this panel here. And we're going to use a lot of glue, and we're going to start by adding the branches. And I will add a couple dots, and we're going to start on this bottom corner. And I will do all 4 corners, and then what we'll do is we'll fill them in. You see how it just automatically creates a wreath? I think it's so pretty. Okay, after we have these adhered, I'm going to bring in the brown ones. And I'm going to add some glue behind the spine. And we'll do a little tucking with these. We only have 4 of these, so we want to make sure that they're evenly spaced. And I'm not worried about the stem showing right now because we have a lot more to add. And we have flowers that will cover that up. I love how we already have dimension, the way they pop up like that. So we have our leaves adhered. Now we're going to add, let's add our sage buds here, our blooms. These ones I'm going to alternate. I'll add the leafy one, and then I'll add the buds. And our blooms and our leaves are adhered. I'm just loving the way this looks. This would make a great picture box. You know, your frames that are deep. I think this is one of those die sets that would work perfect for creating a floral arrangement in those boxes. Now I'm going to go ahead and use my branches or my twigs and fill in the open areas. Just doing a little tucking with them. Of course, if you're planning on milling this, it would go flat, but I think it's still just as pretty. Okay, before we go any further, I'm going to go ahead and adhere this to the front of my card base, but I'm going to use a piece of Spellbinders pop-up foam. I'll go ahead and take a piece out here, and we will trim it down. We did good. We'll add some glue here, and then we will place our fun foam on our card base. And then I'll add some more glue right over the top. And we will add our frame here. After we have this done, we're going to go ahead and take our tag that we created. We'll punch out that hole, and I'm going to stamp my greeting. I'm going to be using an older stamp set from Spellbinders. It's the Sealed Sentiments, and I put the sentiment that says Handmade with Love on an acrylic block, and then I'm going to use my black Memento ink, and we will stamp that on our tag. And I'm going to go ahead and take some of my white twine. And I'm going to thread it. If you want to put an eyelet through this, you could, but I don't think you're going to be able to see the whole of the tag, because I'm going to add another bow to this. We're going to tie a bow with our glued up fingers. What I love about the Spellbinders twine, or the hemp cord, is it keeps its shape so nice. I love that. Okay, I'm going to trim the tails of this. And then I'm going to take some more twine. I'm going to double it up, and then I'm going to tie a double bow. Okay, we are going to go ahead and flip over our tag. I'll put a foam square behind here. I'm actually going to double it up, and then we were going to add our tag. I think we're going to put it off to the left today. And then with this one, I'm going to use a glue dot, and we're going to put the glue dot behind the knot of this bow. And then I'm going to add that right over the top of the tag. I want it to really have that twine look. And I had already put gems in the middle. There is flower centers in the Garden Wreath add-on set, but I used some Spectrum AB gems to fill in the flower centers. I just picked one up, put it in the center, and we're good to go. And for these, we're going to pop up with some foam squares. And we're going to add these around our wreath. Okay, we will just place those on there. And last but not least, I'm going to bring back my Spectrum AB gems. And I'm going to add a little bit more sparkle using the itty bitties. And I'm just going to fill in a few of the areas around the wreath with the small gems. Okay, that finishes off my card today. I'll leave the entire collection down below. It's really pretty. It's pretty fabulous. But thanks so much for joining me. Have a great day, and we will see you soon. Bye-bye.